Could the workout you're doing to stay healthy actually be increasing your risk of a stroke? It's a terrifying thought, but for millions of older adults, it's a reality no one's talking about. Hi, and welcome back to Senior Tips and Secrets, where we bring expert-backed health and wellness tips made simple and caring for adults who've earned their wisdom through decades of living. Today, we're diving into 10 common exercises that may quietly increase your risk of stroke, and most people over 50 have no idea. Stick with us until the end. Not only will we break down the why behind each one with credible research, but we'll also give you safer, smarter alternatives to stay strong without risking your life. And there's a bonus tip at the end that could completely change how you approach exercise from now on. Before we continue, let me ask you something crucial. Have you ever felt dizzy after standing up from the leg press machine? Ever experienced that odd pressure in your head during overhead lifts? Maybe that strange racing heartbeat after burpees that doesn't feel quite right. If you're nodding your head, your body is trying to warn you about something serious. Here's what nobody wants to tell you. Some of the most common exercises recommended in senior fitness classes might actually be putting your brain at serious risk. I'm talking about exercises you've probably been doing for years. Movements that well-meaning trainers push in every gym and community center across the country. Recent research from the Journal of Stroke and Cerebrovascular Diseases found that certain exercises can spike blood pressure to over 300-200 Miners levels that would make your doctor's blood pressure cuff practically explode. The American Heart Association confirms that exercise prevents strokes. But here's the catch they don't mention. The wrong kind of exercise can actually trigger one. Why does this happen? As we age, our cardiovascular system becomes more delicate. Our arteries may stiffen, blood pressure regulation becomes more sensitive, and our brain's blood vessels can't always handle extreme changes in pressure. It's like the difference between a brand new garden hose that can handle any pressure and that trusty old hose that served you faithfully for decades but needs gentler handling. When older adults perform high-intensity or poorly adapted exercises, the risks skyrocket, especially for those with undiagnosed high blood pressure or heart conditions. So whether you're working out at home, attending fitness classes, or hitting the gym regularly, what I'm about to share could literally save your life. Now, let me explain what's happening inside your body when you exercise. And I promise I'll make it as clear as Bob Vila explaining how to fix a leaky faucet. Think of your cardiovascular system like the plumbing in a well-loved home that's been standing strong since the Eisenhower administration. The pipes, your arteries, have developed some character over the years. They've gotten a bit stiffer, maybe developed some mineral deposits, just like those old galvanized pipes that worked perfectly for decades but need gentler handling now. When you were younger, your arteries could handle sudden pressure changes, like a fire hose hooked up to a modern sprinkler system. But now, they're more like those careful garden hoses we use for watering our prized tomatoes. Still effective, but they need steady, consistent pressure rather than sudden bursts. Here's where it gets really interesting. And this is backed by solid research from Mayo Clinic's Dr. Thomas Allison. When you perform certain exercises, especially the ones involving heavy lifting or breath holding, your body does something called the Valsalva maneuver. It's like when you're trying to open a jar of pickles that's been sealed tighter than Fort Knox. You hold your breath, tense up every muscle, and push with everything you've got. Your blood pressure can shoot up faster than a rocket launch at Cape Kennedy. We're talking numbers that would make even your doctor sit down and fan himself with his clipboard, sometimes hitting 300-200 or higher. Now imagine that kind of pressure hitting brain blood vessels that have been faithfully serving you since the days when Lucy was getting into trouble with Ricky every Monday night. The younger brain vessels were like those flexible rubber garden hoses that could handle anything. But our seasoned vessels are more like those classic canvas hoses. Incredibly durable and dependable, but they need respect and gentle handling. The 2022 research published in Neurology International shows that these sudden pressure spikes can overwhelm the delicate blood vessels in our brains, potentially causing tears, clots, or interruptions in blood flow. It's not that our bodies have failed us, quite the opposite. They've served us faithfully through decades of life. From raising families to building careers, to weathering every challenge from the Cold War to the digital age. But just like we've learned to appreciate a smooth whiskey over the rotgut we drank in college, we need to appreciate exercises that work with our body's wisdom rather than against it. The good news? Once you understand this, you can still stay incredibly active and strong. You just need to know which moves to modify and which ones to skip entirely. Here's something the young fitness trainers don't understand about our generation. We've already proven we're tough. We're the folks who grew up when cars didn't have seatbelts, and playground equipment was basically controlled danger zones, made of metal and concrete. We survived the era when doctors recommended cigarettes for anxiety and thought margarine was healthier than butter. We've earned the right to be smart about our bodies rather than punishing them. But here's what happens around age 60 and beyond. Our bodies start sending us different signals than they used to. Remember how you could pull an all-nighter in college or spend a weekend moving furniture without thinking twice? Your body was like a transistor radio back then. Sturdy, reliable, able to take some rough handling. Now, your body is more like a vintage tube radio. It produces beautiful, rich sound and can last for decades longer. But it needs the right kind of care and attention. The changes aren't weaknesses, they're wisdom. Your arteries have developed a bit more stiffness, like a favorite leather chair that's molded perfectly to your shape but doesn't bounce back quite as quickly. Your blood pressure regulation has become more sensitive, like a thermostat in an older home that needs gentler adjustments rather than dramatic temperature swings. Your balance and coordination have evolved too. They're still excellent, but they prefer steady, controlled movements over sudden changes in direction. And your heart, after beating faithfully through everything from the Kennedy administration to smartphones, deserves exercises that honor its decades of faithful service. This isn't about accepting limitations, it's about working smarter, not harder. Think of it as the difference between forcing a stubborn drawer open with brute strength versus knowing exactly how to lift and wiggle it just right. The results are better, safer, and actually more satisfying. Before we dive into these 10 dangerous exercises that could be lurking in your current routine, I'd love to have you join our growing community of wise, health-conscious folks. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Think of it as pulling up a chair to our kitchen table, where we share the important health conversations that matter to our generation. Give this video a thumbs up if you're already learning something valuable. And here's what I'm really curious about. What's your current exercise routine? Are you still doing those same moves you learned back in the day? Or have you already started modifying things? Drop a comment and let our community know. Your experience might help someone else stay safer. Now, let's count down these 10 exercises, starting with number 10 and building to the most dangerous one at the top. Number 10, burpees and rapid up-down movements. Burpees are the fitness equivalent of riding a roller coaster. Lots of ups and downs that can leave you feeling queasy. For our generation, these rapid position changes can cause orthostatic hypotension, that dizzy feeling when your blood pressure can't keep up with your movements. Neurology International research links these rapid transitions to mini strokes in adults with narrowed arteries. Your cardiovascular system is like a well-trained butler who's served the same family for decades. Give it time to adjust, and it performs flawlessly. Rush it, and things start dropping. Safe alternative: low-impact circuits with marching in place or alternating arm and leg raises. Keep your heart pumping without the dangerous position changes. Number 9. Advanced yoga inversions. Hodder stands, shoulder stands. Yoga inversions might make you feel young again, but they dramatically increase pressure in your head while restricting blood flow out of your brain. It's like standing on your head while wearing a tight necktie. Journal of Bodywork and Movement Therapies research shows these poses can reduce cerebral blood flow in participants over 50. Safe alternative: wall-supported gentle inversions, or eliminating them entirely in favor of balance poses, gives you the benefits without the risks. Number 8. Extreme breath-holding exercises. Wim Hof method. Breathing exercises can be wonderful, but extreme breath-holding techniques are like playing chicken with your brain's oxygen supply. The hyperventilation followed by long breath holds can constrict blood vessels in your brain, reducing oxygen flow when your brain needs it most. A 2022 case report documented a 63-year-old man who developed memory problems after unsupervised breathing exercises. Feeling lightheaded isn't enlightenment. It's your brain saying, "I need oxygen." Safe alternative: gentle diaphragmatic breathing, or the 4-7-8 technique, offers relaxation without risking your brain health. Number 7. Rapid twisting ab exercises. Russian twists. These exercises seem harmless. After all, we've been twisting and turning our whole lives. But rapid, resistance-based twisting movements can compress the vertebral arteries that run along your spine and feed your brain. It's like crimping a garden hose while the sprinkler is running. Spine Journal research from 2021 found that certain spinal rotations can cause temporary brain fog or dizziness in seniors. Ever feel disoriented during ab twists? That's your nervous system waving a white flag. Safe alternative: slow, controlled core work, like dead bugs or bird dogs, strengthens your middle without compromising blood flow to your brain. Number 6. Box jumps and explosive plyometric movements. These exercises might look impressive in the gym, but for our age group, they're like setting off fireworks in a library. The sudden explosive movement creates an instant spike in intracranial pressure that can overwhelm brain blood vessels that have been faithfully serving you since the Eisenhower administration. European Journal of Preventive Cardiology research showed these movements can spike blood pressure to 260 mmHg or higher. If you've ever felt that odd pressure in your head or ringing in your ears after jumping exercises, that's your brain sending up a red flare. Safe alternative: step-ups and controlled agility drills give you the same balance and coordination benefits without the dangerous pressure spikes. Number 5. Long-distance running without heart rate monitoring. I love seeing folks our age still lacing up those running shoes. There's something beautifully defiant about it. But here's the thing. Running long distances without monitoring your heart rate is like driving cross-country without looking at your gas gauge. Dr. James O'Keefe's research in Mayo Clinic proceedings found that unmonitored endurance running in older adults can trigger atrial fibrillation, that irregular heartbeat that's a major stroke risk factor. Your heart starts firing like an old engine that needs a tune-up, and those irregular rhythms can cause clots to form. Safe alternative: brisk walking or interval jogging with heart rate monitoring keeps you moving without overwhelming your system. Number 4. Hot yoga or high-temperature workouts. Remember how we used to think sweating meant we were really accomplishing something? Well, that attitude served us well when we were building careers and raising families. But when it comes to hot yoga, it might be working against us. Hot yoga studios are typically heated to around 95–405 degrees, hotter than Death Valley in July. For our generation, this creates a perfect storm of dehydration, blood pressure drops, and blood thickening that can spell trouble. A 2018 Harvard Medical School study found that older participants in heated yoga experienced dangerous cardiovascular strain. Your blood becomes as thick as pancake syrup, while your blood pressure drops like a stone. It's like trying to push honey through a straw. Safe alternative: room temperature yoga gives you all the flexibility and balance benefits without turning your body into a pressure cooker. Number 3. Heavy leg press machine. The leg press seems safer than squats because you're sitting down, but it's actually one of the most dangerous exercises for hidden blood pressure spikes. The seated position combined with heavy weight and breath holding can push blood pressure over 300–200. Journal of Human Hypertension documented these dangerous levels in older adults using the leg press. It's like trying to squeeze toothpaste out of a tube while someone's sitting on it. Safe alternative: bodyweight squats or resistance band leg exercises with proper breathing give you strength without the pressure cooker effect. Number 2. Heavy overhead lifting. There's something satisfying about pressing weight overhead. It makes you feel strong and capable. But overhead lifting combined with the natural tendency to hold your breath creates what doctors call the Valsalva maneuver. It's like trying to blow up a balloon while someone's squeezing your neck. Mayo Clinic research shows this can push blood pressure over 300/200 levels. That would make even a young athlete's doctor nervous. For those of us with decades of life experience, it can overload cerebral arteries faster than you can say Fred Astaire. Safe alternative: resistance band exercises and controlled weight movements with proper breathing give you strength without the dangerous pressure spikes. And number 1, the most dangerous: straining during bathroom visits. Here's the one nobody talks about, but UCLA neurologist Dr. David Liebeskind calls it one of the most common stroke triggers in older adults. Chronic constipation leading to straining uses the same dangerous Valsalva maneuver as heavy lifting. You hold your breath and push, creating enormous pressure in your head. Multiple stroke case studies reference bathroom straining as a triggering event. Safe alternative: focus on fiber-rich foods, stay hydrated, and never strain excessively. Your brain and bowels will thank you. Now, before you start worrying that I've just eliminated every exercise known to mankind, let me put your mind at ease. This isn't about wrapping yourself in bubble wrap and never moving again. This is about being as smart with our bodies as we've learned to be with everything else in life. Think of it like cooking. When you were younger, you might have thrown ingredients together and hoped for the best. Now, you follow recipes that you know work. You taste as you go, and you adjust the heat when needed. The same wisdom applies to exercise. First, and this is crucial, if you're taking blood pressure medications, blood thinners, or have any heart conditions, these precautions become even more important. Your medications are doing their job to protect you, but they can also make you more sensitive to sudden pressure changes. It's like having a car with really good brakes. They work great for normal driving, but you still don't want to go flying down a mountain road. Second, pay attention to your body's signals. That slight dizziness after standing up quickly, that's not just getting older. That's valuable information. That pressure in your head during heavy lifting, your body is speaking to you in a language it's developed over decades of keeping you safe. Listen to it. Third, consider getting a simple blood pressure monitor for home use. Check your pressure before and after exercise, just like you might check the weather before planning your day. If you see dramatic spikes or drops, that's your cue to modify your routine. Fourth, never exercise through pain, dizziness, or unusual sensations. We're the generation that was taught to walk it off and push through the pain. But when it comes to potential stroke symptoms, that old advice can be dangerous. Finally, remember that consistency beats intensity every single time. The tortoise didn't win the race by running faster. He won by keeping a steady, sustainable pace. Your body responds beautifully to regular, moderate exercise that respects its wisdom and experience. It's like tending a garden that's been growing for decades. Gentle, consistent care produces the most beautiful, lasting results. So how do you put all this into practice without feeling like you're starting over from scratch? Let me give you a week-by-week plan that's as simple as following your favorite recipe for Sunday pot roast. Week 1, assessment and awareness. Start by paying attention to how you feel during and after your current exercises. Keep a simple notebook, the same way you might jot down grocery lists or important phone numbers. Note any dizziness, pressure sensations, or unusual fatigue. This isn't about becoming paranoid. It's about becoming informed. If possible, check your blood pressure before and after exercise. Many pharmacies have free machines, or you can invest in a simple home monitor. Think of it as checking the oil in your car. Basic maintenance that prevents bigger problems. Week 2. Gentle modification. Pick one exercise from our dangerous list that you currently do, and try the safer alternative. Maybe swap those burpees for marching in place, or trade the leg press for bodyweight squats. Don't change everything at once. That's like trying to reorganize your entire house in one day. Start with one modification and see how it feels. Week 3. Breathing. Focus. This week, concentrate on proper breathing during exercise. Practice exhaling during the exertion phase of any movement. It should become as automatic as saying please and thank you. If you catch yourself holding your breath, pause and reset. Remember, your breath is like a steady rhythm that keeps everything flowing smoothly. Week 4. Building your new routine. By now, you should have a good sense of which modifications work best for your body. Start building a routine that includes these safer alternatives. Maybe it's 20 minutes of gentle resistance work, 3 times a week, plus daily walks. Or perhaps it's that room temperature yoga class you've been curious about. Shopping and equipment tips. You don't need a gym membership that costs more than your monthly coffee budget. Resistance bands are incredibly versatile and cost less than dinner at a nice restaurant. A stability ball can replace many risky exercises with safer alternatives. And a simple step platform, or even your own stairs, provides excellent low-impact cardio options. Consider sharing this information with adult children or spouses, not because you need supervision, but because having an exercise buddy who understands these precautions can make workouts more enjoyable and safer. Plus, teaching others often reinforces our own good habits. Instead of tracking how much weight you can lift or how fast you can run, focus on how you feel. Better balance, improved energy, sounder sleep, and that satisfying feeling of taking excellent care of yourself. These are the metrics that truly matter. You know what I love most about our community here? We're all on this journey of aging gracefully and intelligently together. We're the generation that figured out how to program VCRs, adapted to cell phones, and learned to navigate the internet. Adjusting our exercise routines is just another challenge we can master together. Every time you choose a safer exercise alternative, you're not just protecting yourself, you're setting an example for others in our age group who might be struggling with the same concerns. Your comment about switching from hot yoga to regular yoga might be exactly what someone else needs to hear. Your experience with resistance bands, instead of heavy weights, could inspire another person to make a positive change. This is how our generation has always worked best. We share wisdom, we look out for each other, and we make smart decisions based on experience rather than stubbornness. So please, keep the conversation going in the comments. Share your own exercise modifications, your success stories, or even your concerns. If this video helped you think differently about exercise safety, hit that subscribe button and join our growing community of folks who believe that getting older means getting wiser, not just getting by. Remember, the goal isn't to exercise like we did when we were 30. The goal is to exercise in a way that keeps us healthy, active, and independent for decades to come. And that, my friends, is the wisest approach of all.